Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, April 5th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. The futures are trading lower this morning by about 9 points to around 1545 and a quarter. You can see here it's been a real good sell-off beginning around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. The futures really started to come down. There was a lot that took place in the overnight session in Asia. I think we'll start off with that because you did have the Nikkei 225 index, which is Japan, finishing up 1.6% last night, basically up about 199 points. But the Hang Seng was down 2.73%. A lot of it has to do with the bird flu. A lot of it also has to do with news coming out of North Korea. But either way you slice it or dice it, that's very unusual to see the Hang Seng decline about 2.73%. Meanwhile, the Shanghai index was only down, I believe, 0.1%. But anyway you cut it there. Actually, I take that back. The Shanghai is closed for holiday. So I take that back. The Shanghai is closed for holiday. But you did have the Hang Seng really get hammered last night. That's just a big decline. That's a 600-point decline in the Hang Seng, which represents Hong Kong. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Shanghai markets do when they open up. But right now, that was a pretty big decline. Japan is just continuing to print money, but the problems look like they're starting to brew over there. You're going to start to see Japanese bonds. We'll see the Japanese bond market, what it says on Monday. But that is going to start to turn into an ugly picture, in my opinion. You just can't continue to print money to bail yourself out of a mess that you've been in for 25 years. I know the Federal Reserve here is doing it in the United States, but they've only been doing it for about 4 years, which is not a good thing either. But nonetheless, it will ultimately be problematic as well. But Japan has just come in with 3 times the amount that the Fed is doing, and with an economy that is 1/3 the size. So it's pretty potent stuff what they're doing. Now in the European markets are really down across the board. England, which can print their own money, the Bank of England can print their own money. They're down 1.6% or 80 points. German DAX is down about 1.6%. The French CAC 40 down 1.5%, and then you have Spain and Italy. Italy is actually flat on the day, and Spain is down about 0.6%. But either way you slice it or dice it, it's a pretty ugly decline taking place in Europe. In about 1 minute, we're going to have the March unemployment report by the U.S. Labor Department. So we see if that report starts to come out. But we do see futures already starting lower. Let's see, that number looks like it is being released at the moment. 88,000 jobs created in the month of March. What can you say? That is a disastrous number. The whole key now is going to be, can the Fed do QE3? If not, do QE4. If not, which I don't think they can, I think they're pretty much all in at the moment. This is not a good number. It just goes to show you all this money printing is useless. It's just bailing out the banks. It's not really bailing out Main Street. But nonetheless, 88,000 jobs created in the month of March. What can you say? It's pretty dire. Looks like the unemployment rate dropped though to 7.6%. However that happens, I have no idea. But we just watched the reaction in the market. That's a pretty good decline. The futures are now down 15 points. They were down even more. So we'll see if they do plunge a little bit lower. It's been a while since we've had a big decline on a Friday, but you never know if today is the day for that. So we'll take it for what it is. But right now, only 88,000 jobs created in the month of March. That is definitely a pretty horrible number, considering they were expecting 198,000 jobs created. At this stage of the game, that is not a pretty picture. So again, look for weakness. Usually we look for a flat to slightly positive day on Friday. I don't think we're going to look for that today, looking after this big decline. So I ultimately think that the futures could trade lower here. Looking at a couple of other things here in the market today, gold is trading flat on the session to $1,552 an ounce. Let's take a look at the GLD. The GLD caught a pretty good little spike here. That's trading up a little bit. It closed at 150.29. Today it's trading at 151.43. So gold is finding a bid. Gold is catching a little bid, at least this morning. We'll have to keep our eye on that one, but that does look oversold, due for some kind of a bounce. Let's take a look at oil today. Light sweet crude in play. Oil is down again another 63 cents to $92.62. If you take a look at the USO, which is a good proxy for oil, you'll see that it is trading now around the $33 level. We will see if that does trade lower. I think ultimately oil should go down a little bit further, down into the $32 area. But today it is sitting right around 33 bucks at the moment, closing at 33.39. Oil's had a pretty good decline now over the last 3 sessions, so I do think it should see further downside in the near term, at least down to 32 on the USO. Let's take a look at the futures one more time. Futures are now down 18 points, so that's a pretty good decline across the board. And we'll see where this shakes out a little bit later in the session. But right now, I think traders want to be a little bit on the guarded side today. You could see things starting to roll over and unravel despite all this money printing that is going on by the central banks around the world. Again, you just can't reap what you don't sow. Eventually that will come to an end. With that said, futures are falling a little bit more. We'll leave it here. Again, be a little bit cautious in this market today. I think that's the prudent decision. A lot of stocks have already rolled over. A lot are rolling over further. So we'll see how this market plays out. With that said, everybody, have a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts a little bit later. Oh, by the way, I do have about 4 or 5 gap plays for this morning lined up. If you want those gap plays, come over to the chat room. They'll be posted around 9 o'clock, which is about 25-30 minutes from now. Okay, with that said, have a great day, everyone.